We actually had, we were close to having someone from Airbnb on the panel tonight, and they actually couldn't do it because we live broadcast it. They had a concern about being on a panel where we're broadcasting it live. But one of the things they were talking about specifically on the legislation is they talked about this as there's been kind of like 3 waves of how communities are reacting to short-term rentals. The first wave was they didn't do anything, right? Everyone started renting and neighbors started complaining and people were throwing big parties. Right, so the second wave that came in is the cities just said, no way, we're shutting it down, right? But now that there seems to have been like this third wave that we're going through, the city of Los Angeles just announced a bunch of regulation on short-term rentals, and I think they're still working on some phases of that. Cities are now trying to figure out, because this is a shared kind of co-living type of world that we're migrating into, and I think now cities are starting to look into how can you work with landlords and that want to do some type of short-term living space. So I would think that's a really important part as you're looking for markets, is looking at cities and trying to get a sense of maybe who may be changing their point of view on short-term rentals, and instead of doing an outright ban, trying to find some way of structuring it to where they can tax it and make it a legal part of the city. So
it all comes down to the money. It all comes down to the money, right? I mean, the cities are getting revenue from this, and
when I spoke with the city council meeting in Garden Grove, the revenues based on the data stores like Airbnb and stuff like that, based on the average nightly stays and the number of people in those areas that are doing it, it would have covered $3 million out of $4 million deficit for the city. But they had the people with no short-term rental t-shirts on there going, oh, we have parties at my next door to my house every day. And you're like, well, call the police every day. Like they're going to be shut down immediately, if that happens. And you have to understand you're dealing with city council members, and they have to understand this. So their immediate knee-jerk reaction is, we're not doing anything, or we're just going to say, no, you can't do it,